Back on the Young Turks, now joining us, former Senator, former UN Ambassador, John Danforth, and also author of Faith and Politics, How the Moral Values Debate Divides America and How to Move Forward Together. Senator Danforth, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks. Good to be with you.
How is the moral values debate splitting America up, and are Republicans to blame for that?
Well, I think what's happened to American politics is it's become too polarized because each of the political parties is trying to energize its base. The result of this is that the center has become greatly weakened. For the Republican Party, the base has been the Christian right, and there's been this effort to make it enthusiastic, to energize it by taking on a series of issues that are important to the Christian right, and they tend to be quite divisive as far as the country is concerned.
Now, you're an Episcopal priest as well, of course, Senator Danforth, but you don't believe that we should mix church and state. Why do you think the Republican Party has gotten to the point where they are doing that too much, if I'm stating that correctly?
Well, let me say first of all that I think that there is an obvious role for people of faith in government and in politics, and I'm one of them. I think it's a question of how you go about it. And do you go about it from the standpoint of having some degree of humility and understanding that you do not represent just a reproduction of God's will, or do you go about it from the standpoint of, yeah, I'm on God's side, and if you don't agree with my positions, you're not. So I think that that's where it becomes divisive. Both political parties have been appealing to their base. The base of the Republican Party has been the Christian right. This means the Republican Party has taken on a series of issues that are wedge issues, and the effect of them is to further polarize the country rather than to find common ground.
We're talking to former Senator and former UN Ambassador John Danforth from Missouri. Senator, John McCain on the campaign trail recently said that this is a Christian nation and that he would prefer to have a Christian president. Then he backpedaled a little bit from those statements. But do you think that statements like that contribute to the divisiveness that we have here? And, more to the point, I'd actually like to ask you, do you think that we do live in a Christian nation?
Well, I'm sorry that John McCain said that. I admire him for a number of reasons, but I think he was mistaken in saying that. If the meaning of it is that somehow we are Christian as opposed to being a nation of all kinds of people of all kinds of beliefs and no beliefs at all, the concept of America has always been to try to hold together a very diverse country. And even in our early days, that was the point of the Constitution, although, the reasons for the differences were different then than now. But, that was the idea of having both the legislative and an executive branch of government making policy decisions in two houses of Congress and so on.
So you would say we are not a Christian nation?
Of trying to hold us all together, and I think that the notion that this is a Christian nation and we don't want Muslims to hold elective office is just wrong-headed.
We're talking to Senator John Danforth. He's also the author of Faith and Politics, his new book. And by the way, it's a terrific book. Senator Danforth, I want to ask you about a man you helped to get on the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas. He's been in the news lately, but he's also ruled in a number of cases, I would say, on the side of mixing church and state. Have you been disappointed with some of his decisions?
I've never set myself up as either the defender or the critic of Clarence Thomas's judicial opinions, because my relationship with him is really different than that. He's my friend, and I'm very proud that he's my friend. I've known him ever since he was a law student, and I hired him to come to work for me in the Attorney General's office when I was Attorney General of Missouri, and then he worked in my Senate office as well. And so the Clarence Thomas I know is the human being, and one thing that I'm really pleased about is that in some of the television programs that I've seen, Nightline last night and 60 Minutes the night before, and in his book itself, it's an opportunity for the country to see the person that I know and that I think is just a terrific human being.
Senator Danforth, we, of course, have limited time here, but I do want to touch upon one other facet of your work in the government. You were the UN ambassador for this Bush administration. You left saying that your wife had hurt her ankle, and I've got to be honest with you, I didn't buy it. And now you're an Episcopal priest, so you got to tell the truth. Did you leave the UN because of disagreements with the Bush administration?
No, I didn't. I left because we were. The UN is in New York City. The ambassador's residence is in the Waldorf Hotel, which is a hotel. I mean, it was certainly a big hotel suite, but it was a hotel. My wife had broken her ankle very seriously, and it still gives her a lot of problems, even 3 or 4 years later. And New York is a walking town, and I thought at that point of my life, my principal obligation was to my wife, and it was just a bad place for her to be.
But did you also have disagreements with the policy take that the Bush administration wanted to pursue in the UN?
No, I mean, there's give and take within an administration, and the role of an ambassador is to represent the administration's point of view. And, by and large, that was no particular problem for me, and it gave me an opportunity, especially with respect to Sudan, to try to further some things that I was deeply involved in. So, in that sense, it really wasn't a bad job. It was an ambassador's job. It wasn't a policy-making job. But the reason that I left was just what I stated. At that point in my life, what I really wanted to do was to go home. I didn't want to be in New York anymore.
Senator, I really respect and admire you, and I think you wrote a great book. But there's no way you're going to convince me that you weren't disappointed that John Bolton replaced you at the UN. So, although I didn't ask you that specific question.
No, you didn't.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much for joining us, Senator Danforth. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, and the book, by the way, everybody, is Faith and Politics. Please check it out. We have a link to it on our website as well, so you can find out where to buy it.